People, what's good? What's happening? What's going on? It's me, Brian B. We got some sponsorships as well as partnerships here at the B-Line Entertainment LLC, and I want you to check them out right now. Let's go! People, check out Upsurge Magazine. That's right, brand new magazine hitting the scene, and it's got a whole bunch of content creators and news and information and important people that you need to know about. That's right, supporting businesses and all. We gonna talk about it. Upsurge Magazine, check them out today. People, make sure that you go ahead and check out the B-Line Entertainment Stuff and Things shop. We got all merchandise that you're looking for, everything to promote the show. That's right, from hats to glasses to cups to sweatshirts to t-shirts, you name it. Boys, girls, babies, whoever wants to show off that they love watching the B-Line Entertainment LLC. We can't wait to see you in your brand new gear. Come on and check it out today. Let's go! Hey, what up, you beautiful people out there? Check it out. It's Brian B. We back at it, yo. Thank you guys so much for watching. Of course, we are on YouTube right now. We are on Facebook right now. And we are on Twitch right now, baby. Go follow that Twitch account, man, if you haven't already. But if you are on YouTube, definitely make sure that you go ahead and you like and you share and you subscribe to the content, man, because we got a lot of stuff going on. Tuesdays, we got the web show. Wednesdays, we got Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk. And then, of course, Thursday nights, we got that B-Line ENT show. Let's go, baby. Thank you guys, man. Definitely coming back in. Yo, listen, I told y'all I had the new intro for the show, and I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, maybe they just don't want me to show it, but I had it queued up in here, and it just keeps disappearing on me, man. I'm definitely telling y'all I had that shit ready for it this week. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little backwards here, but we're gonna go ahead and bring in my man Kyle, because Kyle's in the building with us, and you know we want to talk because we talking action movies and Kyle, what up, bro?
What's good, bro?
Chilling, man. Hey, y'all having some fun already, bro. Jumping on the show, yo. Thanks so much for jumping in, bro. How's your day been treating you, man? How's the week been treating you?
The week has gone by quick. I'm not gonna lie. The week has gone by quick. Did some work with our homeboy Steady. We did the Artistry Tuesday show. It was pretty good. There's been a lot of going on in the ethos lately. Like every time I turn around, there's always some sort of weird news, like news report. Like I'm not even looking at I'm looking at everything currently that's going on. But like speaking of action films, man, I heard of something the other day that makes me think of Jurassic Park right off the bat.
Oh man, what was it? Like dinosaurs coming back or some shit? That's horrible to hear.
Bro, they're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth.
Oh yeah, I did hear that.
They're trying to bring back the woolly mammoth, man. This lab that's been working on it for a while. I guess they found, like, we actually talked about this on Steady's show not too long ago. Yeah. They found a fossilized or frozen woolly mammoth. I can't remember which. Right? Yeah,
it was a frozen woolly mammoth. Like it was a fossilized one, but it was completely frozen. But it had like meat on it and hair and everything. I remember that.
Yeah. So they got the DNA. So they got the DNA, and they're all excited about it. And they decided to genetically alter mice. So now we have woolly mice.
Yeah, we're going down, bro. We're gonna make some shit. You know what I've been thinking too, bro? Even with just like, definitely with that, but also it's something about, all this creations and all these vaccines, all this different shit, bro. Because they got this new stuff where every 5 minutes now they got some shit like curing cancer. And we got these cancer vaccines now. And this not heard, like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Russia or China or whatever.
It was, but I saw one in China. I saw one in China and another lab. I think one might have been Japan. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I've been seeing a lot of cancer vaccines or treatments lately.
Yo, I hope so. Wouldn't that be bro? Listen, if one of the scariest things, and listen, this is like a horrible conversation, especially with an entertainment show, but let's be honest, like it's true. And you know, you see it in movies all the time. So I guess that's where the relatability is going to be at.
That's the relatability right there.
Right there. You literally have to think about it. Taking all these vaccines, putting all this shit into you, all this tested stuff, all this stuff they're testing for, you know, how many years, whatever, just like Resident Evil shit, bro. And then all of a sudden something comes out and turns out and it makes people a different, you know, thing or whatever. You're living in some shit where you don't even know what's happening, man. You got The Walking Dead, you got The Last of Us, you got something going on 28 days later. And then next thing you know, the world is fucking ending and everything. Like that's what's scary about it. Like,
or in the case of like all the action movies we're probably gonna talk about. A lot of them are either science fiction or just high action. But
that's right.
But what do? They kind of, even if they realize it or not, there's something that they do that inspires someone else. Next thing you know, we have all of these different, you know, like these things that we never had before. These different innovations. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And some of them will straight up tell you, "Oh yeah, I was inspired by RoboCop. I was inspired by Jurassic Park. I was inspired by Back to the Future." Like there's so many things out right now. Like for example, China's got a robot. They got a RoboCop on their police force.
Oh yeah, I saw that too. Yeah, I mean we do too. It's just it's in a different way. Like
it's more of a that one's more of a roller than anything else. It's not a. I've seen that one, the one in New York.
Oh yeah. They I mean they have a bunch of different, like, you know, whether it be the security guard ones, whether it be the ones that just kind of roll around like like a vacuum and shit. I mean, we definitely have some crazy shit that we've never had before. And you know, like we said, when we have these conversations, Kyle, like that's just the stuff that we see. Now, to be real, like the shit that they probably got, like they probably got all that shit in a dungeon somewhere underground, whatever them big ass laboratories. You take the elevator down 400 flights.
Yeah,
like you're going to hell or something.
The subground laboratory.
Under the ocean and shit. Oh yeah, bro. Listen, they got Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, whatever that shit. Hulk Hogan. I keep saying Hulk Hogan. They got the Hulk down there. You know they got the fucking end of the world all down there already and shit. So it's like you said,
that's why just the past 5 years has felt like a movie.
Like a movie. For sure. Yo, guys, check it out. I told you I was going to have it for you. I think I found it. Yo, check out the new ENT intro. We'll do it at the right time, but check it out. Loving it, bro. Kyle, how you like it, bro?
I like it, man. It was nice, man.
I'm feeling it, man. Thank you guys so much. I know y'all listen. I've needed a new intro for the ENT show for a while. I like it. I think it shows off everything we kind of do here. You know, definitely me and Kyle get on the screen and we talk a lot of fun stuff, man. You know, from nostalgia kicks to top 5 lists to watch lists to movies to even shit bringing back the woolly mammoth and Jurassic Park shit. Like we do interesting conversations, Kyle. Like we do some shit on the show, man.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm loving it. But guys, once again, thank you guys for watching, man. We really appreciate you guys. Like you guys have literally made the ENT show the most popular show on the B-Line ENT network. So definitely excited to say that. We do have a great show for you, man. We're going to be talking about, like I said earlier, we're going to be talking about action movies, baby. All right. So Kyle, as it goes on the list, let's find out where we rating it here. Now, I'll start it off. For me, my favorite genre of movies is horror. Horror is my favorite. So I'm watching the vampires, I'm watching the werewolves, I'm watching the Dracula, all of that shit, plus the monsters and all that other stuff or whatever. And I gotta clump in thrillers with that too, because you know whether it be the killer or like the killer you didn't know was a killer and all that stuff, whatever. I love that. And then I would say right after that is action movies for me. I can sit down and watch a really dope action flick. Where does action rank on your card?
Second. So usually so I'm not a horror guy. Yeah. I'm more of a for me it's comedy. It's probably comedy, romance, then then action.
Okay, comedy, romance, yeah.
I had to think about that for a hot second. Like most of the stuff that I watch is either comedic, romantic, or a combination of the two. If I'm watching an action film, it's usually within it's usually within either comedy or comedy or sci-fi. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like if I'm watching something like say Fast and Furious movies, they started as your straightforward action film, and now they're cartoons basically, right?
Listen. The Fast and the Furious. Let's go ahead and start it off. Let's kick it off with the Fast and the Furious, man. The Fast and the Furious. I was going through a lot of action movies while I was doing these this conversation. They're really good, man. When you first started watching them, of course, like I definitely understand. Like now they are a little bit exaggerated, a lot exaggerated. A little, more like they're like Marvel movies now and shit.
Well, a little. I don't. They even pointed out.
They're extra as fuck.
They even pointed out, like, how are we not dead yet? You know what I'm saying?
Y'all got powers. They don't even know it. But they're good though. Like when I was watching the last one, and they're super exaggerated. But Jason Momoa, I think we were talking about it. Jason Momoa as the bad guy, phenomenal, bro.
He was having fun.
He is so good, man. Like I love his whole demeanor as a character. He kind of reminds you of like a Joker. You know what I mean? Like he's really like just sadistic and just like reckless, careless, but I don't care. Like shoot me, I'll stand in the way of the bullet and just dance around it. I think that shit is phenomenal. And I think it's a good presence because Fast and the Furious has become this kind of over the top, kind of superhero movie even. Like it's not as basic as it once was, but I still enjoy it. Like, I know a lot of people like they pick at that shit, but it's really good still. Because the action is phenomenal.
I agree. I was wondering like how bonkers could it get?
Yeah.
Because I'm not the type of person that like some people say like, just shut your brain off, enjoy it. No, I'm gonna still analyze it.
You still gotta analyze it.
I'm gonna still analyze it. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean I can't appreciate it for what it is. It's they're popcorn flicks. They're meant for you to have that dopamine hit of just straight up action, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But
exactly.
So I can appreciate it for what it is. I mean, I grew up watching Arnold Schwarzenegger. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, bro.
I grew up watching Schwarzenegger. Did he seem to get hurt a lot in, say, the freaking Predator film no?
I tell you Kyle over there doing references and bringing up the topics early, but he's right. Yo, we're going to talk about our first topic on the list is going to be 80s and 90s action films. And Kyle, you hit the nail on the head. When you think of 80s and 90s action, the first person, unless you just don't know that shit, the first person you should think of, damn, I got this damn motorcycle out here, is the man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, man. One of the baddest in the game, yo. When you think of Arnold Schwarzenegger, what's the first movie that you're thinking of, Kyle?
Jingle All the Way. No,
not even fucking like, yo, listen, yo, that's a good one though. That's a good one because you forget. Jingle All the Way is one of the most popular ones because it's a Christmas movie that people watch every single year. Damn, that's crazy. You just made sense trying to be funny and shit.
But honestly, Terminator 1 and 2.
Terminator, bro.
To be 100 with you, the Terminator films.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Terminator was like is such an unbelievable fucking movie, man. Like, I went back and rewatched the Terminator 2. I watched both of them, but
Mhm.
especially 2. Now remember, like, most of the time when movies come out and they do the first one, then the second one, a lot of people are always so used to like, oh, the first one's never gonna compare. I hate when they do a sequel, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
There's no lie. Terminator 2 is fucking, marathons around Terminator 1. And
Mhm.
Terminator 1 was great, man.
Terminator 1 was good. Terminator
The
1 was great.
damn the beginning scene when he's over there, or not even the beginning, but the scene where he goes to the damn police station to go get Sarah Connor, cuts
Mhm.
his eyeball out and puts the glasses. Bro, it's fucking cinema, man. Like,
Mhm.
what age did you watch the first Terminator?
I was that like I was a kid. Like I was just flipping through I was just flipping through the channels and saw it one day,
Yeah.
and I just remember just wondering what the heck was what the heck was going on. I think I might have watched it with my cousins who were already versed in it because they were older than me, but
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure it was on like TNT or USA or something. I don't
Yeah.
ever. I obviously it can't like it, I was born in '87. Movie was already the first one was already out by then. So, um, but but I believe it was it was TV. So really, I was watching the censored version.
Oh man. So you are so that one, but you've seen it. You've seen the uncensored and everything, right?
Yeah, even eventually I did see. I got to watch it again to be honest with you. It's been a
Bro,
minute. It has
it's
been a minute.
it's it is such a good damn movie. I had so many damn things queued up here, but for some reason I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, man. But
Mm.
they're just not like clicking into the things that I'm trying to put down on these posts or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I watched it when I was young. When I was a kid, like we watched the first Terminator, and it was one of those movies that I watched a lot of shit when I was young. So it's like when I got older and I got the chance to re-experience it and then gain the understanding of it,
Yep.
it's a whole different movie. You know what I'm saying? Like you watch it when you're young and you remember like the action parts. You remember the part where, oh, this guy got shot. Oh wow, that's crazy. Like he's a robot. Like, but then when you get into the story and you
Yep.
listen to the story of like, what the Terminator was, what Reese was when he came in Terminator 1
Mm.
and everything that was going on at this point in time, bro. Because remember, the 80s and 90s, let's be honest, this is creativity to a whole level, bro.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got movies and you got some movies that, there's definitely some out there that you can go back on and are really good. Definitely some animes and some cartoons. But a lot of times movies now are just recreating shit, man. Like they're like,
Yeah.
shit you didn't even know was created, 40 years ago or whatever.
I am. You're 100% right. Right now, we're at a point where people just want to recreate what they've already seen because they saw that it worked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
every company is figuring out ways to just redo popular IPs, and that's how things have been for the most part for the past decade or so. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. Really,
so
really, really true, man. Really,
that's
definitely
why
true.
we have so many Terminator sequels today because so it's
Fucking 40 of them shits.
you know what I'm
Better make
saying.
another
So
one.
that's why we had the I believe they had a TV show Sarah the Chronicles,
Sarah
right?
Connor Chronicles.
Which,
Yeah.
I never really got into that at the time, but if I had a chance, I'd probably go back. I'd probably go back and watch it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really good, man. It was actually just on Netflix not that long ago. Terminator 2.
Mm.
And like I said, like one of the things about Terminator 2 was Terminator 1 was really hardcore. Like it was definitely like dude came out, he was just blasting people, like opening the door, kicking the
Mm-hmm.
door in, just shooting a girl in the back. And it was really not censored at all. And then there's another, like even the opening scene when he's ass naked, goes up to the bikers and steals their shit and everything. And then you
Close
go to
now. Yeah.
yeah. And yo, let's not forget Arnold was great, man. Arnold was great. That was like one of his first movies and shit like that
Like
or
his
whatever.
first roles, like he came
Yeah,
at like he was because remember that back then he was winning muscle like bodybuilding competitions
that's
back then.
right.
So people were aspiring to be like him, and here he comes with it, you know, with the action movies, and it just fit him, you know, it just fit him so well.
So well, man. Yeah, and he was
Hasta
a
la
giant
vista,
guy.
baby, and people were just quoting the, you know, like quoting the scenes, and for some reason, I know we're talking action films, but real quick, why did we have toys for the rated R movies?
Bro, I had them all too. Bro, listen, we got to look at that shit now, because I had the Terminator movie toys. I had all of them shits, bro. The damn bike. I had the T1000 liquid metal guy. I had the Terminator where his face popped off and it was the cyborg underneath, the robot arm we could change. I had John Connor, the fucking moped. I had all of that shit. I had all of that shit, Kyle.
I was all about, like, growing up, I was all about Ninja Turtles. So
me too.
So
I definitely had all the Turtles.
You know, I had, and that counts. They count as action films. So I'm so, you know,
definitely do. Terminator 2, listen, I want to, because you know somebody had showed it on TikTok. You know, TikTok, you go on TikTok, man, you see everything, bro.
Everything.
And they'll have like the old school commercials and everything from back in the day. And it's such a nostalgia trip, bro, to sit there and steal this shit. Yo, guys, check it out. I hope I don't get no flags for this, man. Stop flagging me so much. All right, let's check it out. This is the toys, the commercials for the damn toys back in the day. Look at this.
Terminator's back to fight evil with this mobile assault vehicle.
I've got to find Evil T-1000.
I had that.
Disguised as a policeman, Evil T-1000 aims to destroy.
I've got you now. Who's got who? Time to get serious.
New mobile assault will blow you away.
Remember this commercial?
Party's over, T-1000. Adios, amigo.
Bro.
Terminator.
I'll be back.
Figures and different.
Kyle, man, like you said, the toys for rated R movie, but it's like the toys. If they'd make a movie and then they'd make toys for it, and the toys were so much fucking fun, man.
The toys were a way for it was like, okay, they know they can't, you can't, you know, like you can't, kids can't come to see these movies on their own.
That's right.
But we can corner the toy market with, you know, because they gotta buy, because they can buy toys. They can either get the parents to buy it or they have allowances at the time, you know.
That's
so
right.
it still don't make any sense to me. But this was also the time where they would have cartoons for rated R IPs. So it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think Terminator ever got one until like later on. But you know, that's just the way it was. We had there was a RoboCop cartoon. Tell me why,
bro.
I didn't know about the RoboCop cartoon until way later, bro.
You didn't? Yeah, I knew about it.
I was channel surfing one day, and it was on a random channel, and I'm like, wait, when did this joint come out? Like, why is it? You know, they had to dumb down the action, obviously. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. But it was still pretty interesting. Like most TV movies that came out, you got toys, and like you said, you even got a cartoon, man. Because in the 90s and stuff like that, they pretty much pandered to kids, man. All they did was pander to kids. You had I got reminded because me and my kids were watching Sonic 3, which was, you know, great movie for sure.
Yep.
And you see Jim Carrey, man. Jim Carrey, one of the best known. Definitely the GOAT, man. I can't even lie. Like Jim Carrey, one of my favorite actors of all time. He's so good. And I was telling my daughter about like the different movies he's done. Like I've been watching them my whole life, and I remember Ace Ventura, and then I remember Ace Ventura had the cartoon. Remember?
Yeah, had a cartoon
with the monkey, and
The Mask had a cartoon too.
That's right, the Mask cartoon.
They had and they did collab. The two IPs did do a crossover.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. I missed that one.
They did do it. They did do a crossover. So that was on in the 90s, but Nickelodeon snatched up the rights at some point in the early 2000s. So they would just marathon that joint during weekends, right? And The Mask
up everything. Nickelodeon was messing up everything, bro. Because even when Nickelodeon got Ninja Turtles, man, I think back on it now, and I hate it that they got Ninja Turtles, man.
Man, I was, dude. When they got the Ninja Turtles, yes, I was skeptical
Yeah,
about the way it looked, right? But then I watched the show, and then I looked behind the scenes, and the people that were behind Ninja Turtles 2012, the CG show,
yeah.
they were pure fans. So they threw everything at the wall and looked at the comics and looked at every bit of Ninja Turtles history and put it all together and to come out with what they came up with. And honestly, I loved it. You know?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just couldn't. The Turtles, like, they just seem like they had so much character, bro. Like that, the blanket that you got back there. I got Ninja Turtles for me. I don't know if y'all can see it, if y'all ever saw it, but I got Leonardo sitting right there. That's the movie version, from the Nickelodeon movie. And then I got Raphael down here. That was my son's. He let me use it for the show. I got
Nice.
I got a Heroes in a Half Shell little poster here. Nobody can really see all the way. But and then of course I did a painting one time of the Ninja Turtles. Like, we were just doing this weird, like, drinking and painting class, and I did all the Ninja Turtles, bro. When I tell you the Ninja Turtle, I had the bed set, I had the toys, I had the damn car, I had everything Ninja Turtles when I was young. I was a huge fan. They had so much character, man.
Man, since we're on it real quick, I gotta show you something.
Yeah, please.
Right.
Ninja Turtles, and like Kyle said, like, there was a bunch of different shows that would come up from, whether it be movies and the toys. It was so easy to get invested in this stuff, and you miss that. Like, even now when I'm trying to get my kids invested in certain shows or certain movies, whether it be something other than like superheroes, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard. Like, sometimes you'll get like the Godzilla action figures, or you'll get different characters from different TV shows like Pokemon and all that shit or whatever. But it's really hard to get them invested like we used to. We used to be so invested in this stuff when we were kids, man.
Well, because we didn't have as much stuff as they do now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we still had a lot of stuff, don't get me wrong, but they got a lot of stuff bite-sized. Check this out.
Oh shit, okay. That's from the is that from the movie when he was sitting in the car?
So this is the way my girlfriend explained it to me, right? So that scene where April was drawing the turtles as Raphael was recovering after he got captured by the Foot Clan, right?
Yes.
After he got that beat down, right?
Yeah.
So the artists that actually drew those had prints of stuff that they did for the movie.
Yeah.
Right. And she surprised me with this on freaking Valentine's Day.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Man,
that's super awesome. That's a great gift right there.
Man, and it's already framed. I gotta hang this. Man.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. I'd hang that shit up right behind you right there, Kyle. That's your little setup, right? I mean, you're always there.
Right.
I'd hang that one right up behind you, put a little thing up in there. Yeah, that's a beautiful piece of art, man. Isn't it crazy? Like, the different stuff, like, some people have such a weird, variety of what they find as valuable. To me, I'm not trying to knock nobody, but it's like, if you're the kind of person that you like diamonds and gold, and that's cool. Like, I get you. Like, of course that shit's obviously expensive, but it's like, when it's something that just like speaks to your character, when it's like something like that, like, that's something that directly speaks to like your personality, your character, your joy. You feel me? Like,
yes,
you get something like, if she gave that shit to you on a napkin, like, that would be the greatest gift that you ever got.
That would have been like great. All she would have to do is tell me, oh, hey, look, I talked to someone involved with the original 1990s Ninja Turtles, or anybody involved with the franchise, and just show me that she did. I mean, like, man. Oh, what happened?
I'm here. My bad. I'm trying to get these damn pictures up, but these pictures are tripping. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. It's really weird that, like, because I was thinking about that today. This same conversation. You start to experience more of the joy in stuff instead of the abundance and stuff, if that makes sense. I had this conversation 3 times today now, because I'm just so shocked that I'm coming to this reality. I don't care as much. Like you said, now we have a lot more stuff going on. Like, they got you can watch so much different shit, YouTube, different sites and stuff like that, all the streaming services.
Yep.
Remember when you used to go and you used to watch cable as a kid, or maybe you didn't have cable and you had the couple channels, whatever.
Yeah,
You're 87,
channels,
just like
yeah.
me. That's it. That's all you had. You used to say, "Oh man, there's nothing on TV." You couldn't pick. Maybe you had a VCR or whatever you had, and you can put a movie in. Okay, cool. You got options a little bit, but at the end of the day, whatever was on was on. I showed my daughter the Big Comfy Couch today. She watched the big with Lunette and Molly. And I watched the first episode with her, and me and my sister used to watch it when we were younger. And it was just interesting to remember, like, we had to wait for that to come on. But now you can wonder, there was 7 seasons of that shit.
I didn't know there was 7. I had no idea that there was 7
seasons, bro.
Man, I would catch a few episodes here and there because it was on a PBS.
Yeah.
And over here it was channel 10, right? So I remember I would watch it on occasion because it would come on like early between like 8 and 9 and waiting for something else to come on. And I would try to do that stretch that she would do with the
on the clock.
Like, I can't with the clock. I can't do that.
Yeah. She was like, listen, Allison Court too. Just to say it, we over here on what's it called? Allison Court. She had another one that sexy has. But she Claire on Resident Evil, man. Allison Court played her. She voiced her. She did a lot of voiceovers.
Yeah, she did a lot of and I've been seeing like for the past few years, I've been seeing this picture of her and Steve from Blue's Clues. I'm like,
saying they're married and shit.
Man, that is I'm like, if that is true, where like 2 childhood icons got together.
Yeah,
I
read that it was fake though.
But either way, I think people assumed because they look so close in that picture.
Yeah. People take shit and spin with. And like you said, it would be awesome to just think like, damn, like they're together and everything. But all right, but yeah, I mean, we were talking about the Terminator, and such a great movie. Of course, James Cameron, same guy who bought you Aliens, the same guy who bought you what else James Cameron did? James Cameron did a lot of stuff, man.
A lot of stuff.
He's done so much, but it's like those were such great movies, man. Terminator 2, the scene where he's over here fighting with John Connor. He finally finds John Connor, and they're both looking for him. And they get to the mall, and they're getting off the bridge, and he's driving the damn truck off the bridge, and John is on the moped, and Arnold is on the motorcycle, and he drives on. Bro, listen, Terminator 2 is such a good fucking movie. Definitely on the watch list today. Let me just go ahead and play the graphics for it because. Listen, if you haven't watched Terminator 2, I'm just going to go ahead and give you homework.
The watch list.
Go ahead on some service. I'm telling you right now, it was just on Netflix. Find it on Amazon. It's probably $3.99. If you've never watched or your family never watched, watch the first 2 Terminators. It's a must, bro. Like, if you've never wanted to know why they got Terminator Generations and that shit now, go watch the first one and watch the second one. You will not be disappointed. Definitely classic action movie history in life.
Yeah, for real.
Also, RoboCop. You brought up RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop. Oof. Like I had to be reminded of how brutal this movie actually was.
Yeah, really bad.
I had to be reminded of how crazy they just went with it. Especially in the early scenes when people were getting shot up. And this was the 80s were a time where they were still messing around with a rating system. So yeah, this was rated R, but even rated R had limits. You know what I'm saying? This didn't really seem like it had limits.
Yep. Because it was wild, man.
They wanted to see how far they could take it with this concept.
And like you said, even before for Terminator, it was like the first one, one of the most, especially if you watch the director's cut, one of the most graphic opening scenes as far as somebody getting destroyed, man. Destroyed. And then it's like, you get to the second one, and it's a little bit, even at the beginning of the first one when they introduced, what was it, Ed 209, whatever his name was, and he came into the business and he said, okay, go ahead, show him the gun. And he shows him the gun. He's like, okay, now you have 10 seconds to reply. Drop the weapon. And then he drops the weapon. He's like, okay, I'm good. And then Ed 209 says, you have 5 seconds to reply. And they're like, wait, I dropped it already.
You dropped it.
And he lit that motherfucker up.
But he's out. He did all that, but he was outdone by stairs.
Yeah.
So it's like look, I know they tried to redo RoboCop, not some time ago, like I think it was early 2010s. They tried to.
It was so bad, bro. It was so effing bad. Did you see it?
I did not. No.
It is, bro. Don't even fucking watch it. I mean, I just got done here. Hey, B-Line. Here's a do not watch list. That remake of RoboCop. It is so damn bad. Like, it's like I don't know what it was, but it's like they focused so much on just making him RoboCop and showing you what he could do that it wasn't even a movie. Like, it was no movie, bro. It was just making him RoboCop. Like, they changed his suit like 3 fucking times.
Wow.
It was bad, bro. That shit was bad. Yeah, that shit gets hold on. Let me rate it. Here, this is for the remake of RoboCop. Everybody ready? Remake of RoboCop.
Boo, you stink.
Dang.
Definitely earned every bit of that 1. If I gotta give it a 0, I don't got a 0 on here, but it was bad, bro. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah. But it was such a RoboCop 2, even RoboCop 2 was great, man. With Kane and him, the drug lord, and man, these movies were so damn good back in the day, bro. So damn good action movies. But not for nothing, since we're still talking about 80s horror, let's go ahead and take it to a couple of other 80s and 90s. Of course, you had, even a little earlier. Remember, you forget this is action. A lot of action, but Star Wars, man.
Heck yeah.
One of the most impressive, especially for the time. Star Wars came out in the 70s. What was it, 78? I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's like, just seeing like this kind of depiction of a sci-fi movie, like this shit was magic to them watching this in the theaters back in the day, bro.
Oh yeah.
What was your first opinion? Or are you like a Star Wars guy, or are you just kind of like
Star Wars guy? I'm not a hardcore Star Wars guy. I haven't watched or read everything, but I am a Star Wars guy.
Gotcha.
And like I gotta give it up to my aunt Cheryl, because like when I grew up, short story. So when I was growing up, going to see her and my aunt Judy, right? My aunt Judy was always on her chilling in her chair coming home from work, and she would put on Star Trek: The Next Generation, right? Okay. That's how I learned about Star Trek. And one night when I'm over at my aunt's house, sleeping over, she puts on Star Wars because she had the original trilogy on VHS. She had no idea what that did. Like, I was already nerdy to begin with, but that right there just opened me up to a whole other franchise. And next thing you know, because they would do like special screenings, anniversary screenings. So I remember watching it for the first time in her bedroom, in her bedroom, just chilling and being in awe at the fact that she had all 3 films, right? So then I had to ask my mom to bring me to watch Star Wars when they screened it again in 1997. Even though at this point I already knew the whole movie, I just wanted to see it on screen, And looks like you muted.
There we go.
Yep, there you go.
Yes. Are you hearing a double of me?
Oh no, I can hear you. No, okay. There's no echo. I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to do stuff, B-Line. I'm sorry. Just making sure everything is good. I'm trying to do stuff while I'm on. But Star Wars was one of those movies that I was never a giant Star Wars guy. I was never a giant Star Trek guy. And it's weird because I like all that stuff. Like, I went and watched the rescreening of it in 1997 when they kind of remastered it a little bit and everything. Yep. But it's like I didn't fall into it as much as I'm surprised that I didn't, because it was right up the alley, man, of everything else I liked. Like, I liked so much, like, I was the imagination kid. I liked the, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I liked all that stuff while other kids were liking sports, Power Rangers. Like, that was right up that was our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's like when Star Wars came out, they had, Return of the Jedi, you had the regular Star Wars, and you had the what was it? The Rise of the
Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, those are the first 3 movies, and of course you came out with all the other ones afterwards. Now they're still coming out with shit. I can't even. I don't even know which one they're on. They have TV shows. Like I don't even know what stories they're telling anymore.
They've got TV shows. They've had TV shows, but
yeah,
ever since Disney acquired them, they were just like, look, we need to justify having this franchise, so we're gonna just continue stuff and not adapt things that people want to adapt. We're just gonna do our own thing with it. But everybody has something that they like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I love their their cartoon series, and that is where that's where I am right now. Like I will watch the Mandalorian, especially season 1 was pretty much chef's kiss perfect.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was it was really good. Season 2 was iffy, but still good. And then I gotta rewatch the rest, and they're trying to finish it all off with a movie.
Well, Star Wars is definitely one of the most popular movies of all time. No doubt about that. But just to kind of recap, talking about 80s and 90s, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to another section in action if you guys are keeping up. But just some honorary mentions that we got to throw up here, man. In a time period, I think the greatest time period, as far as action movies go. You got, movies like Die Hard. You got movies like Lethal Weapon. You got, these great Rambo. All of these great, movies that went right along with, Terminator and everything like that or whatever. And Arnold Schwarzenegger alone, you can just name a million from him because Commando is one of my favorite movies of all time. Such a great movie, bro. Con Air. When I first saw Con Air, man. Have you saw Con Air? Kyle?
I've seen like reviews of it. I've never actually watched the whole movie.
It is so damn, bro. That's my favorite. I heard somebody ask them, "What's your favorite Nicolas Cage?" Con Air is definitely my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. It's basically like, these prisoners are getting transported and all in a plane, and you got of course John Cusack is in it, John Malkovich is in it, all-star fucking cast, man. And literally, like, it's just like the story is really good. It's really heartfelt. It's one of those movies like, it's got Leanne Rhymes. How do I get through one life without? It's one of it's a tearjerker. Like it'll fuck with you because he's in jail for something that's like, it's kind of honorable and it was an accident. It's a really fucking good movie, man. But of course, then you got True Lies, another one from Arnold that one of my favorites, man, with Jamie Lee Curtis, sexy ass, dancing in the bra and stuff like that. And yeah, there's been so many, man. Even Escape from LA was really good with Kurt Russell.
Escape from LA feels like it feels like they adapted it from a graphic novel.
I don't know if it is. I know they had Escape from LA. They have Escape from New York. It was like a series. It was they had a couple of those, but yeah, definitely a lot of honorable mentions when it comes to 90s action and stuff like that. And then we start getting into a little bit more of the newer age of the Matrix. Definitely the Matrix is up there. Rush Hour. Let's not even forget about our
Rush Hour 1 and 2 were peak to me.
Really good. Yeah, right? really. Especially 2.
Yeah.
2 was great, man. 1 was of course great, but 2 was phenomenal. Yeah, 2 was phenomenal. But yeah, man, definitely had some amazing action movies from the 80s and 90s. Then we get into the 2000s. But let's go ahead and jump into the most obvious of categories. Now, that's why I wanted to kind of set it up a little bit different, because I know that you think of action movies now, the first shit you think of is superhero movies. Like that's literally like the one that you see more than anything now. Like you see, with the Marvel and DC and everything like that. Really just Marvel at this point.
Yep.
But yeah, so many Batman movies, so many Superman movies, so many damn, Iron Man, Thor, Marvel, Avengers.
They just put out the new Daredevil series.
I haven't watched this. The only reason I'm not watching it yet. But since we're talking about that, how did you feel about, the Netflix Daredevil series? Was that your cup of tea? Were you?
Oh yeah. Yes, it was. Okay, so I got introduced to Daredevil from Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man 1994. So I watched a lot more, cartoons of Marvel than I read the comics. I did read the comics here and there, but I didn't know the lore. So I was glad that when they put them in cartoons, they condensed it all for me, right? But when they said that they were going to put it, when they were going to give Daredevil his own series, I just wanted to see how it was gonna, how it was gonna happen. Then time goes by. We get three seasons, and then a fourth season before everything else went down, and it was like really well done, super violent for the and I'm like, okay,
very
so
dark.
how? And then we connected with the other shows later on, kind of like what they did with the Avengers setup. And
right.
But man, yeah, Daredevil, because he was tolling the line between justice and vigilante.
Yeah,
like
he was kind of like a, I don't know if he was an anti-hero, but yeah, he definitely did toe the line. Like he
told the line. He does not kill. That's the difference between a hero and an anti-hero.
That's right. Yeah, he don't kill you.
An anti-hero will kill to get the job done. That's why you got people like the Punisher.
That's right. And Red Hood.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I definitely, like, just like you said, I really enjoyed Daredevil. It was incredibly done. I got introduced to Daredevil in Spider-Man as well. And, Kingpin, all of those guys. Like, I got introduced to Spider-Man 94. But it's like, now that they had, everything with Luke Cage was also phenomenal in my opinion. I didn't like the way it ended, but Luke Cage was really good, especially that first season when he was fighting what the hell was his name? The other dude that was like invincible, kind of, or he took the Jamaican stuff and he became the strongest. Yeah. And damn, them shit was good, man. But the fight scenes in Daredevil, I liked how dark they were. I liked how hard hitting it was. And it was a lot of character in it, man. It was like, Kingpin, what's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio, whatever his name. Like, look, he is phenomenal.
His acting when it comes to both of the two characters are acted masterfully by these two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that D'Onofrio delivers Kingpin, right? Because Kingpin, the way I was introduced to him, big guy, strong guy, kind of a English accent, kind of. D'Onofrio plays him with the
Brooklyn shit.
He'll look at you right in the eyes, and he'll be like that. His voice is very kind of like somber and intimidating.
Yeah.
So it's like now I'm studying how this dude talks. I don't usually do. I'm like, what?
Very neat. He was like very neat and articulate. Like everything was like presented with like prestige. But it's like you said, like even the cartoon is always going to depict it. And you want to know something? Like I'm definitely going to check out the Daredevil show on. I'm not going to just go away from it. But that's the only problem that I have with Disney, man. It's like, even though you see when Disney has something, especially has something that's adapted from something else that came from like a much darker place and a much darker version, because the depiction of Kingpin in the damn Hawk Girl show, we had the fucking Hawaiian shirt on, man, just destroying his character, bro.
Here's why I think they did that. So during the whole thing with Daredevil on Netflix versus what they were doing with Disney at the time, the one thing I couldn't stand was the street level heroes in the Avengers. Even though they, the street level heroes would mention the Avengers, but never really by name. You know what I'm saying? They mentioned things that happened, like Battle for New York, but they never intersected. No, not at one point do you ever see an Avengers character mention anybody on street level. There was no mention in the news, nothing. I thought that was kind of weird. Come to find out, the production, they just did not get along. They were like, okay, you do your thing over here and we'll do our thing over here. Now people are like, okay, so it's Disney. What are they, so Disney, it's on Disney Plus. What are they going to do? Let me tell you something, man. That junk is rated R. Okay. I hope so,
man.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It picks up basically where the other series left off. They made sure to let you know that this is connected. This is more cinematic, okay? Because they got the budget. It's more
money now, yeah.
It's more cinematic, and it's a lot. It's as much action as the Netflix show had. This one was like, okay, let's turn this up a little. We're on Disney Plus, but this is why we have, you know how you got to punch in the pin to get certain shows on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is why this is basically why we have that. You will be, if you're looking for blood and a little bit of gore here and there and just like drama. Yeah, first 2 episodes so far. I'm
gonna listen. As soon as we get off here, I'm gonna watch the shit. I'm gonna watch it as soon as we get off. But like you just said, and that's the one thing that I was getting nervous about, because even though and I know that they do have some darker content on Netflix. I mean on Disney Plus. But the only thing with it, Kyle, is like when Disney has it, they have to make sure that they're making it darker to make a pure separation, you know what I'm saying, like from their name, because when you think Disney, you're not thinking of ass kicking, blood, cursing, and sex scenes. You're thinking of kids and shit. Yeah, so it's like it's not as natural as when you're watching something that has no kind of connection to where you're referencing kids plus dark. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you're not trying to separate it. It's not in that realm at all.
Yeah, it's totally understandable. Like when they brought him back for the She-Hulk show, because that was a comedy, they made it more comedic, and honestly, I get what they were trying to do. At least they tried something. I wasn't really, but I'm gonna let you know this, man. This is action. It's a court procedural. It's dramatic, and they bring their A game.
Fuck it. As soon as I get off as soon as I get off tonight, Kyle got me amped up. I'm gonna go right in the living room and I'm gonna watch that shit, eat my food. Yeah, I'm watching.
Hour-long episodes apiece.
I believe you.
Yeah,
I believe you. Yeah, and another thing I loved about, which, man, I'm not trying to bitch, because like I said, I had my little revelation today, and I'm trying to just be grateful for the stuff that we have, because it's awesome. But it's just, I do love the fact that we used to be able to get the whole season and used to be able to watch every single episode and binge it. But now you got to wait for each episode to come back out. It's starting to get to that weekly thing again. I do miss the binging, yo.
I'm not mad at the So when Netflix had the model of just put everything out in one, and then you binge, but people want people to talk about it more at the water cooler. Like, you know what I'm saying? They want you to remember. Kind of like how it was with us, everything was week to week. We had to make it. It was basically an event, especially if it was like a drama or like a very special episode. They want you to remember it, so you'll be talking about it. So
that's right. Yeah, you're right about that.
So you'll get on your social media and be like, "Hey, yo, did you watch the?" So now, but here's one thing I can't stand about Disney Plus when they're putting out new shows. I know that each part of their studio is different, but be more consistent. Case in point, since we're talking about action, they just put out a new Spider-Man show, right?
It came out already.
Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yep.
Oh, okay.
So that's been out. That came out late last month.
Oh, okay.
I say watch it. I had a good time with it, but here's one of my issues with it, and that was the timing. They started it, they gave us a 2-episode premiere, right? They gave us a 2-episode premiere. That's 26 minutes per episode, right? But then following week happens and they gave us 3 episodes. Then they just kept going with the 3 episodes until they were done. This episode was about 10 episodes, and just like that, it was done. Right?
Gotcha.
That's my issue. It comes and goes too quickly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I know. I heard. I don't know if this is the same Spider-Man, but I heard they were supposed to be similar to X-Men. They were supposed to be bringing back Spider-Man 94. And that's what I thought you were talking about.
Well, not a rumor. The reason why that got started is because if you've seen X-Men 97,
yes,
you've seen that scene with Peter and Mary Jane, and people were like, wait a minute, wait, when did this happen? Because remember, Spider-Man 94 left us on a cliffhanger. What the heck happened to Mary Jane? right?
Damn, I didn't
And
remember that shit. I haven't watched that shit in so long.
and now
I might have saw that shit.
X-Men 97 is like, hey, they're both here. They're both here along with everybody else that we couldn't get last time. So what the heck happened? Now people want a Spider-Man 94 reboot akin to 97. The problem is Spider-Man was already Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. This show, which is its own thing, was already in production. So if they were to do it, then I mean that would make a lot of people happy. But at the same time, they wanted this show to stand on its own.
Be a wasted product. Yeah, I get you. I mean, we'll see. I listen. Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man was one of the ones I watched. Spider-Man more than I watched X-Men. To be honest with you, in the back in the day. But I watched Batman more than I watched all the motherfuckers. But I'm still interested in seeing like where they go, and it is a lot of fun. And you are right. One of the things about having the episodic is kind of like you have the ability to kind of break down each show. You talk about it, and you're really
you break it down. And I think what it also is we're talking about it from a nostalgic fan's point of view. We're older fans now.
That's right.
We're older fans now. So just like you said, you're introducing this stuff to your kids, right?
Yeah.
I'll like my nephew's dad. He already introduced a lot of it to his about to be 3-year-old. As soon as as soon as he starts hanging out with Uncle Kyle, I'm gonna introduce him to a lot more. If his dad,
that's right,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but
that's the job, man. That's our job.
We are the most nostalgic generation
because our shit was awesome. That's why these motherfuckers ain't going. Yo, my kids, they didn't into shit. They're not into shit, bro. I can't get my kids into shit.
It was, but that's why stuff keeps coming back. That's why you see more adult toy collectors than anything else. You know,
they just brought back the classic fucking Power Rangers with the flip heads
once again. And with the flip, with the head flip.
It's so good, yo. It's so damn good.
And they're putting out comics, but notice, Power Rangers has been around for almost 30 years. The original source material has been around for 50 years.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
So while there's been so many changes within Power Rangers, most mainstream fans remember, who stopped watching Power Rangers after Mighty Morphin or after a certain point. Everybody mostly remembers Mighty Morphin, so they're like, okay, let's keep going with let's do a 25th anniversary Dragon Dagger. Let's do a. Them
shits cost like $400 too. When you to get the real ones,
but they sell out.
Them shits
because now a lot of us are nerds with disposable income.
That's right. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yo, grab my charger for the laptop, please. I'm not gonna lie, my damn thing's over here. I got all my equipment fucking up. But and you see me, I'm literally a collector, so I'm one of the ones who would do it. I mean, if I had the money, I would definitely. There's so much shit I would buy, the Dragon Sword, the Dragon Dagger. I definitely the White Tiger and Saba. I had all of that shit when I was young.
I had the White Tiger. And I don't think I had Saba. I had the White Tiger. Man. I had the action gloves.
That was such a cool fucking toy too.
There was so many
great toys, man.
Very much, and now you can now there's people that are that are making their own toys or having or 3D printing their faces on these toys.
Yeah, for real. All right, guys. My bad. Yeah, we gotta jump into this. I didn't even realize we were talking. Kyle, we just going this one of them episodes. We just reminiscing over here. Here, give me this one right here, baby. My damn laptop's dying on me and everything. All right, we go, but so we definitely talking about action movies as well as I guess action shows as well. But I'm gonna definitely check out Daredevil because I just want to check it out. I mean, I was gonna check it out regardless, but now I'm kind of more interested in it because the first Daredevil was phenomenal. Literally watching the one on Netflix and then the series. I didn't really care for Iron Fist too much.
Iron Fist was God. Okay, it got better. It got better in season 2, but it still was. Season 1 was boring. That was a snail shit. Oh
yeah, I didn't even like the villains, the hand, and all. I just was not feeling that shit. But I like Luke Cage. I even like Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones had its ups and downs.
Jessica Jones. Shout out to Kristen Ritter. If I ever get a chance to meet her, if you like, listen, I've been watching a lot of your stuff. You are awesome. If they do, I heard that they're trying to, they got everybody to come back to reprise the roles. If they decide to do it this way, with the way they're setting up, Daredevil once again as the anchor. If they decide to do it this way, then I'm cool with it, because this is not, they're continuing the path that they set in the Netflix shows, except now things are more connected.
And that is definitely super awesome, and we're gonna definitely stay tuned in what's happening with that, because it's something that we really enjoy, and it's the ENT show, right? But quick shout out, we might even do like a second part of this, just to go back over some different movies and stuff, because there's so many, bro. This is like the first time I'm doing this. Speaking of this, but of course, superhero movies that we watched, we can say all Marvel. Back in the day for me, the back in the day Batman's, Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, Batman Returns. I was in Walmart earlier, and I was telling my son they had da 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 da. Yeah, used to be a thing on me. Cal, what song is that from, bro?
Oh man, I remember the pattern. I can't remember the freaking.
That's who remain the light on the dark side of me. The holy day. That's Seal, bro. My eyes become long, and the light that you shine can't be seen. Get ready for it. Baby, I can tell you from a kiss from a rose on the bed. Ooh, the more I think of you, the stranger feels the air.
I swear.
Now that you're, woo! That's fucking Batman Forever, bro.
Man, I swear I've seen that on other soundtracks too. Remember when you would wake up from like those like compilation CDs they would sell at like 5 in the morning?
Oh yeah. Yo, listen, that was listen, man, damn, even just doing that shit just put me into a realm, yo. That's one of those quick nostalgic kicks, because I remember, man, if you remember Batman Forever, Val Kilmer's Batman, that was the first Batman that we didn't see Michael Keaton anymore. And that was Nicole Kidman was in it, Jim Carrey, fucking Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, like then the first introduction to Robin in the Tim Burton series and stuff. It was that wasn't Tim Burton. That was a different writer at that point. I forgot who it was. But it was Seal. He was on the that was like the damn, to this day I don't know why. It's not like an action song or anything.
No, I think, but if you look at Batman Forever, if I remember correctly, it was a lot. There was a few times where the tone was slightly different from the first one.
It definitely was. Batman Forever was like, it was comedic. It was not as dark as the Tim Burton. Remember, Tim Burton is like, that guy. He's a little dark and a little more
gothic
twisted.
for gothic's sake. Like
This one was a little bit more colorful. It was a little bit more, animated. And it was good. I mean, Batman Forever. It wasn't the best one, but it was definitely good. Jim Carrey's depiction of the Riddler. Anything Jim Carrey does, it just completely over the top. He's just a man, yo. We got to do a fucking Jim Carrey. Yeah, we Jim Carrey appreciation, Kyle. We definitely got to do that, because that's my boy, man. I love Jim. Where another one that I was thinking, another show that I really want to do soon.
Yep.
The past and the present, and that's going to be talking about actors and actresses of yesterday and today, and kind of who takes the place. Because when we talk about Jim Carrey, you got to think about it, bro. One of the reasons you used to go to movies back in the day, you used to see a trailer, and the trailer would play. And then you get to the point where you see the actor, and you like, well, oh shit, Denzel Washington in this. I'm going to watch this shit. Oh shit, you used to have that. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't have that shit no more. Like sometimes when I see certain people in the movie, I'm just like, okay, I have to be interested in the movie, because there's not a lot of actors that I know. There's some, but there's not as many as like before. It was like, yo, Arnold Schwarzenegger in that shit. I gotta watch this. I don't got that as much anymore, bro.
before the actor was the hook for you. That was the thing that the thing that got you in. Like if you already knew their work, it's like, oh, we got to see them killing in this, you know.
Yeah, I got to do that. That would be a great show to do, man. Just a past and present, and just see kind of where we're at. Like, who's going to take Jim Carrey's place, man? Like, I'm not saying you got to be Jim Carrey, but who fits? Like, who fits like that crazy? You going to laugh. It's over the top. It's it's animated. It's just like
that's a good question, because we don't we're nostalgic guys, but we don't want to be like stuck that
exactly
in the past.
Yeah. I love Steve Carell and Seth Rogen. Those guys, those are my guys.
Oh yeah.
But that's gonna be a good one, man. But like we were talking, just to wrap it up real quick. Of course, superhero movies. All the Avengers and great movies, man. These movies have brought us a lot of joy, a lot of together. Some told a lot of great stories and stuff like that, and great depictions of comics, comic books, man. Like literally on the screen. This is a lot of people's dreams that grew up reading comics and stuff like that. Maybe they changed the story a little bit, but the movie, the budgets, have been phenomenal, man. And it brought these stories to so many more eyes that maybe never picked up a comic in their damn life, but they love the story now.
Made some of them comic fans. Like,
yeah, that's right. That's true too.
That 10-year slate of Marvel movies, they had a couple duds in between, but that made that made more comic fans.
Very
which
true.
made me a little envious. Just a
little.
Because,
it's like encroaching on your territory and shit.
Because I'm not a gatekeeper. I will help bring people in, but my thing is sometimes I'm reminded of how far we've come. Because I was a comic kid, I was an anime kid, I was a guy in robotics club, I was a nerd, and now it's and now it's like, that's cool, but I hate it when people try to be like, oh, you can't be a real nerd if you're not into this and you're not into
you can nerd out on fucking anything
together, I'm not trying to be the bullies that bullied me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can nerd out. I mean, like I be saying to myself, like I was always outspoken and wild, and you would never consider me like, oh, he's a nerd and shit. But I'll tell you right. I mean, you could just look. I love collecting. I love superheroes. I've always nerded out on that shit. Wrestling. Listen, wrestling was.
If you watched wrestling, you're a wrestling nerd, okay? Because that joint said soap opera. That's
and draws and
draws, and they plot lines, and they own superheroes, the intros, all of that. Come on,
that's right. We literally saw a dude with black and white makeup, fucking coming down from the rafters and shit on a damn bungee cord. So
right.
I'm a nerd.
You saw someone like the freaking Undertaker bury someone in cement. You saw like
bury niggas alive. Yeah,
man, that is so dramatic. Yeah,
man. Yep. We definitely did, but you are absolutely right, and I get it, man. You forget how far people have come, man, and they just the stories that have been told. Even with anime now, like even I'm just like, there's some things that I'm checking out a little bit more and some of it I still can't. Like it ain't for everybody. You understand that, but
everybody's got to each their own.
Everybody got their own taste and shit. But but I'm more interested in it now that I'm just more open and telling more stories. Night, baby, I'm just telling more stories and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so I'm definitely more into it. But we're gonna definitely do some more talking on this because we're gonna jump into the top 5. We're gonna kind of run through the top 5. I gotta bounce out in a minute. But this is a really good take on a genre of film that I love, man. I love action. I love kung fu, karate. That was the next segment, but we're gonna come back into this and bring it back because man, fighting and it's one of the reasons why even from a young age, like I always, like you said, Kyle, like I didn't really get like bullied. I don't know if I was the bully, really. I don't know if I was. I think I just used to crack jokes like everybody else, whatever. But I don't think I was a bully. But I just I was interested in fighting and shit, yo. I was always interested in that. I didn't like to fight, but I was always liking it. My father used to tell us and show us martial arts and shit like that or whatever. And then of course watching, you know, horror movies and making weapons out of household shit. Like I was always into like, you know, the creativity, the imagination and stuff like that. So it's like that's why I love this genre so much, like action and horror, and it's just it's exciting, man. But of course, you know, that's why we're gonna jump into now our top 5 favorite action movies. And this is our personal top 5, so don't nobody hit me up. I don't care what you think, unless you want to share your top 5, and you're more than welcome. But Kyle, let's go ahead and jump right into number 5. What you got for your number 5 spot?
TMNT.
TMNT. All right, the whole classic, like just bunch together.
TMNT 1990. Gotcha. Yes.
Yeah,
it's one of my all-time favorite films. Okay, the first one was the darkest, and it was the closest to the comics at the time, and you could still watch it today and get and be entertained. But also, it had story. You know,
a lot of story.
You know,
listen, you
got me into martial arts. I mean, come on. You know?
You want to hear something? And I don't know if you've ever heard this. Another one. My list is staying away. I tried a little bit to stay away from superhero because I felt like it was going to be easy. So I wanted to stay away from it. So I don't really have any superheroes on mine. Not really. But with Ninja Turtles, man, here's my only gripe, yo. Like you said, TMNT, the first one, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in 1991, Jim Henson's Turtles. I loved it. I loved it. The only thing for all the turtle movies that I really still to this day want to see is a super face-off against Shredder, man. We've never fully got like the closest when Splinter and Shredder was going at it, but it was like that mechanical Shredder shit in the Nickelodeon fucking movie. Why couldn't we have just gotten badass Shredder fighting fucking Splinter? Bro, even though it was still pretty good,
it didn't last long at all.
It didn't last long at all.
It didn't last long. You know?
None of their matches did. Even when, and I understand the Ninja Turtles were still young and Shredder is Shredder, but just imagine like a straight up fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you guys ever saw, here's another watch list for you if you've never saw it. Batman versus with the TMNT in it. Batman and TMNT. And he fights the Shredder. That's a good ass fight, yo.
That's a good fight.
Shit you was like, damn, I never thought about it. It's a good ass fight.
That's a
good fight, bro.
That's a good fight, bro. Oh.
I would love to see the Turtles fight Shredder, man, and be on some shit where it's like, yo, let's go. We've evolved. You know, Splinter's taught us everything we needed. Let's get them once and for all. Like, why can't we get these crazy I need to write a movie, man. I got so many thoughts, yo. But yeah, TMNT all the way.
If you want to see, like, if you want to see them do that, then you gotta watch the show. You gotta watch the cartoons. You gotta watch TMNT 2003 or TMNT 2012. So
they do fight him in 2012 too.
They do
Nickelodeon one.
He's like they made sure that the connection between him and Splinter was a lot more like in 2000. Okay, so in 2012, he is he is a human that got turned into a rat instead of just being a rat.
Just being a rat.
But the connection between them and the Foot Clan in their early days is more developed. And when he first meets the Turtles, right? The Turtles are still young. They're about 15 in this one, so they've never really been out. They've never really been outside. So they're very, for pardon the pun, green. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But they do fight them, and you even see Splinter scrapping. Okay, like seriously,
it's so goofy, bro. I've watched the 2012 one. Yeah. I've watched it. I remember the one with Lewis Black. He was like a bug guy. And he kept making bug puns over and over.
Yeah.
I've watched the shit. Like, it's just, for me, it's just so goofy. So it's like I wasn't able to follow the story. Like, even like Teen Titans Go, like, just can't follow the story in that shit.
If you want something a bit darker, then you got to watch 2003. Now,
with the white eyes, they were darker,
but those are the closest we're gonna get right now until Last Ronin comes out. So
listen, bro,
you ready for that?
Shit. I'm am for it and I'm not at the same time because I know it's going to be darker, but it's
Yeah.
just like I'm also like I'm a fan of all four turtles. So it's
Facts.
like, you know,
Yeah.
if I'm getting a what I would love, what I would fucking love, and this is not just with turtles, there's a bunch of movies that I really would like to see just a more serious depiction. I
Yeah.
always talk about, we've said, I think we said this on the show a bunch of times at this point, but the Ninja Turtles, like we were just talking about, we're talking action movies.
Yep.
Yo, they're karate, bro. They're kung
Yeah.
fu, man.
Yep.
The Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, I feel like we are at a disservice for not having some really hardcore, straight up fucking karate kind of Ninja Turtles kicking. And don't tell me you can't make it. Like, you know you can make it. Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles.
Can convince them to make Last Ronin. Okay,
come on.
You
Come
can
on,
do it.
bro.
You can do it. You
Just
know?
imagine the crazy Foot Clan battles, like the Ninja Turtles just like, you know, straight up kicking ass, doing tricks on their shells, and not the goofy shit with, oh, I got, you know, I'm Donatello when I got a computer on it. Nah, bro, I'm talking about just straight up turtles, and they ninjas, and they go in. They can still have personality, but just they kick ass.
Yeah, like more of their comic counterparts, because the comic counterparts, those were anti-hero turtles.
Yeah, them motherfuckers.
They killed the Shredder in Volume 1. So
all the red, they didn't even have all that blue, orange. It was all red.
That wasn't a thing yet.
Color
Everybody
blood.
had the red bandana.
Yeah, man, definitely. Well, great first choice, Kyle. Number 5, Ninja Turtles. Definitely, you know, one of my favorite things of all time is Ninja Turtles forever. But my number 5, definitely, and this is an action movie that I didn't get into while we were talking, but one of the greatest action movies that I love is The Raid Redemption, man. And I don't know if you guys. Yes. Now listen. This movie is I had more, like I said, guys, I had more pictures, man. I don't know what the hell is going on with StreamYard. But this movie basically is you know, kung fu movie, karate movie, whatever you want to call it. Very exciting. Came out, I think it was like 2012. I think it was, around that time, 2011, 2012. It's about a group of, you know, cops or, you know, whatever, you know, SWAT team, whatever.
They're basically a SWAT team.
Yeah, SWAT team. You know,
basically a SWAT team.
They ran up in this big ass building where they had just a whole bunch of drug dealers and, you know, different stuff or whatever. And basically got set up kinda, and the whole squad got taken out, but these guys just go in there and they just got to go through the floors and just clear house. And one dude in there, I don't even know his name, but dude is phenomenal. And it's just a lot of karate, a lot of action, some of the best fight scenes that I've seen in a fucking movie, period. Other than The Protector, that was another one with Tony Jaa. That just missed my list. That's one of my favorite kung fu movies of all time as well. But The Raid Redemption, definitely go check that shit if you haven't watched it. Yo, unbelievable. Raid 1 and Raid 2. There's 2 of them.
Facts.
But the Protector 1 and The Protector 2, as a matter of fact, if you haven't seen that shit, because The Protector is right up there. You know, fuck on Bach, but the Protector, in fucking incredible, bro. But that's my number 5. What you got for number 4, Kyle?
Akira.
Akira. Yeah. Oh, Akira, the battle angel, right?
No, that's Alita. But that's Alita. But Akira, I mentioned Akira in one of my lists before. Akira is about basically you're in a post-apocalyptic like Tokyo. Like Tokyo had to rebuild, right? Because there was something that happened in an alternative version of the early 2000s that left Tokyo, like Japan, in shambles, and they had to rebuild again, right? And then you have these delinquents. They're a biker gang. They're a delinquent gang that end up getting in it with these scientists. And one of them is, unfortunately, he ends up becoming not only a psychopath, but he's also psychokinetic. Right, so they find out they've been doing these crazy psychic experiments on these kids, and this movie inspired a lot. Right, if you go back, watch this movie for certain scenes, and then watch certain action movies and shows, and they've taken from this. Now it's a series of manga, and the funny thing about it is, at the time, because anime was still very like it was still very young over here. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know how it was gonna, how people were gonna react, react to it. But the guy who created it in the first place, he basically wrote this movie, and he had to write an ending for it when the book itself wasn't at its ending yet, right? But seriously,
like The Walking Dead.
When you watch pretty much if you ever get a chance to watch this movie, there's going to be action, there's going to be drama, and there's going to be some body horror in there, especially at the end of it. Like I watched it one time with my girlfriend, and while she liked it for the most part, once it got to the body horror, and she's a horror, and she's a horror fan, right?
Yeah.
So, but that part got to it. But once you get it, it gets really science fictional. It starts, you start questioning humanity and all that, and all that stuff. And that's why that's made my list. I would have put it higher on the list, but I had other stuff in my head.
Hey, listen, you just introduced something to me because I never, heard of it before. So that's cool as shit. All right, that's number 4 for you. Number 4 for me. Oh, listen, I'm going to the whole genre, bro. John Wick, baby. That's my motherfucking dude. Now, with John Wick is one of the ones where I gotta say, of course, Neo from the Matrix. We've seen Keanu Reeves in a lot of action flicks, man. One of the ones that every time I was pulling up movies, the one that kept popping up when I was pulling up action movies in Google was Speed with him and Sandra Bullock. Great movie, man. Such a great thriller movie. And Keanu Reeves, this guy has been in so many movies, amazing actor, and I heard also an amazing person. Seems like he's very, very, very humble and modest, and but John Wick, man, one of the newer series in action films. If you've seen them, every single one they just keep progressing all the way up to the last one. The story's good, the fighting, the action is good. It's never boring. I mean, John Wick is one of the only movies I can say they're never, from start to finish, the shit has got you locked in. And another thing, it's also very it's very well structured. Like, it's not like just random wildness. It's like even the random wildness isn't it's like calculated. Like everything is like, positioned. It's like, we have rules, and you have to engage in the rules or there'll be consequences. And what I'm saying, no fighting in the Continental. It's just so good, man. Like, and the fight scenes, like I said, just the fight scenes are just kind of over the top. Especially once it started getting a little closer to John Wick 4 and everything, because that stairway scene, if you've seen it, a little over the top. You're like, all right, motherfucker, like you like, are you Superman at this point?
Why not?
Yeah, but it's so good, man. It is such a good ass movie. So definitely, if you haven't seen John Wick's, man, just go watch all of them shits. Get you some popcorn and a beer and just enjoy. So, yep, that's my number 4. What you got for number 3, Kyle?
Okay, so I kind of went the superhero route with this, but I couldn't decide which one I wanted more, either Endgame or Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Two good movies.
Look, Endgame gave us what we've been waiting for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Winter Soldier gave us a spy thriller and basically proved that they were more than just comic book films.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
great fighting, man. Great fighting in Winter Soldier, man.
Great fighting, great story, great suspense. You know what I'm saying? So this might be cheating, but I'm gonna put them both. Both as
on your list.
Yeah, on my list in the same spot. I have to.
Hey, listen, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Not my favorite Captain America, but the first Captain America was ass to me. I'm sorry, I hated it. I fucking hated the first Captain America. I just did not like it. Kind of how we were talking about before, it was just kind of boring. It was like it took a long time. I like the story. It told the story, having him be skinny and have courage and all that shit, whatever. But it's just like, it was just kind of boring. Showing him, getting to the ice and everything like that. Okay, got it. But it just kind of got you prepared for what was to come.
Right.
Like you said, Winter Soldier was phenomenal, but you know, my favorite Captain America is definitely Civil War. That was just fucking unbelievable. Like that whole movie was unbelievable. But yeah, I definitely feel you, man. Winter Soldier, I love the action, the fight scene between him and George St. Pierre in the beginning, the opening. Man, that was like where I was like, okay, the Marvel really trying to have some fight scenes. Like it's almost like a damn kung fu movie and shit. But yeah, I definitely agree with you. All right, cool. So you got 2 in the number 3 spot. That's awesome. My number 3, believe it or not, is the only kind of superhero movie I got on the list, and it is the very first Marvel movie. I don't care what nobody says. It is the opener, and that is Blade, baby. Blade is
I had a feeling you were going to say that.
Blade is my number. Let me see. This is the only picture I got. I don't know what. Oh no, here we go. Here I got one more. Blade. Now listen. I want to say all 3. I like the second one. I like the third one when he fought Dracula, whatever version of Dracula that was. I liked it. Ryan Reynolds, Triple H, Jessica Biel. It was pretty cool. But the first Blade, man, what a movie, bro. Like so much action. Opening scene, one of the most classic fucking opening vampire scenes in all vampire movies, in my opinion. Him going in there, they're in the club, dancing with the blood coming out, they're beating up the guy, and all of a sudden the whole shit stops, and Blade comes walking in with the suit on and just takes out the whole party, bro. Blade was so good, man. And it's like the depiction, it was this is a superhero. This fucking Blade is Marvel. And then you saw like just action packed throughout the whole movie. It was dark.
It was rated R too.
It was rated R. It had gruesome kills in it. The part where Frost fucking, the cop that was doing the work for him, and he was talking to him, and he's like, I'll get him, Frost, just give me a chance. And he turns around and rips his fucking throat out, and all the blood's just gushing, and he's just bleeding and shaking. Bruh, Blade was real, bro. Even the opening scene when what's his name? He had got burnt up and shit like that. He was in the hospital and he was flirting with Karen, and then he woke up and she saw him get bit and she was in shock and standing. Bro, Blade was hard, bro. 1998. Blade was fucking phenomenal, yo. So that's my number 3 right there. Blade. All right. Top 2. What you got in the 2 spot?
Demolition Man.
Woo! Okay. All right.
Demolition Man is so, like, looking back at it, it is so goofy, but it is it is so goofy in a good way. To be honest, and I introduced it to a buddy of mine who had never seen it before, and they talked about like the fast food wars and just the randomness of some things, like Wesley Snipes as the villain. Talk about goofy, you know what I'm saying? But it worked, and Sylvester Stallone was the man, you know what I'm saying? And
video game.
And that was the funny thing is that also had a game.
Everything had a game back in the day, man.
Everything
had a fucking game.
Just about everything had a game. My grandmother. So my grandmother had a van that had all the amenities in it, not like a mobile home, but like one of those vans that had like extra seats and a bed, and she bought one that already had a Super Nintendo equipped in it, right?
Oh, man, I lived in that motherfucker.
Yeah, so right, so me and my cousins used to fight over who would get the van. She sold it when we got older.
Mine, damn it! It's got a Nintendo with it.
Exactly, but so when she picked up some games, and it was Demolition Man, Brick Breaker, and Mario Kart 1. And we went to town on both those games. I had no idea what I was doing with Demolition Man. All I knew was it was basically a platformer, and you're just shooting people. That pretty much,
Oh yeah, that's pretty much what they all were.
But it was fun. It was fun. Yeah. And then why? Because I played the game before I watched the movie, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, damn, yeah. Demolition Man was really good.
saw the movie, saw the three seashells. You know, people still ask Sandra Bullock what the three seashells were supposed to be about because they never really explained it. They just
I don't even remember that part.
They just laughed it off. Like, yeah, my brother, like, because I was making my list while I was talking to my brother, right? And he's like, yeah, why not? Why not tell people about the three seashells? Put that on your list.
Listen, bro, I don't even remember that part, but I remember Demolition Man. One of the biggest things I remember, of course, Sandra Bullock. I also remember them in the self-driving car. That was one of the big parts when I was little, looking at it like, damn, because I saw that on Total Recall. But in Total Recall, you saw it was like that machine driving it and shit. And then, she's sitting there just, I'm like, damn, is this real? Can this really happen? That was one of the first self-driving car depictions I remember. But yeah, also
now we're kind of in that future. Like,
just cars delivering food to you and shit by themselves. Yeah, bro. Do you mind it? Do you mind it? I don't mind that shit. I don't mind the self-serving McDonald's. I don't mind that shit.
I don't mind it, but the thing is, it's not 100%. Like okay, I know nothing is going to be perfect, right? But you have to make sure that these things are thoroughly tested. Please, I don't want to be run down by or watching a car get pulled over by a cop and the cop don't know what to do because there's nobody in the car. Like. Which has already happened.
Cal. Right? Yo, listen, this is the conversation right here. I don't want to have it right now, but because I think there's more to talk about. I've had this conversation before, but it's really crazy, right? Somebody broke this shit down to me and it really spoke to me. Yeah, self-driving cars and self-performing grocery stores and self-performing McDonald's and shit.
Yep.
The first thing we think of when we hear that shit, we panic. Wait, we ain't in charge. We ain't in control. Man, this is fucking crazy. But think about it, bro. Think about just how much shit fucks up when we are in control. Think about how many people fuck up every day. Think about maybe, even if, let's say out of 500 fucking self-driving cars, let's just say 80 of them fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say 80 of them fuck up. How many 500 drivers... Probably fucking 345 of them.
It's like, okay, how many?
Somebody running late, somebody texting, somebody drinking, like
somebody don't have their seatbelt on, somebody speeding, somebody like.
Bro, I don't know anymore.
It's very like, okay, so where I live, we always say nobody knows how to drive. Like people will run red lights in the middle of a snowstorm and they don't freaking. I've seen it. I walk everywhere. The sidewalks are crappy over here. It happens all the time. But now that I haven't seen a self-driving car around here yet. I've seen a few cyber trucks, but what the heck ever with those things. Yeah, but
fucking need that for like I'm Star Wars or some shit.
Like I honestly that looked like a badly rendered PS1 graphic. That's all that looks like.
Yeah, for real. Like came out of Tomb Raider or some shit.
For real. But
it do.
While this stuff does excite, it does excite me. Like I'm not like scared of it. I'm more like, okay, people complaining about like losing their jobs or whatever. I'm like, look, I think as stuff changes, the job markets will change. Hopefully one day the payment will also change.
Or universal income. That would be about the only other thing where they determine on how much. And at this point, I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that's a bad idea. This is a conversation that this is a web show conversation, right? I'll tell you right now.
For real. But these movies, especially when they're depicting their version of the future. Because remember, Demolition Man happened in a future where the fast food wars happened. They outlawed cursing. Right?
Yeah, I remember all of that.
They outlawed cursing. They outlawed physical sex because of how bad the diseases had gotten. Right? There was like, I don't know, like there was this scene where Sandra Bullock asked to hook up with Sylvester Stallone. He's like, okay, so he's thinking that he's going, he's getting ready, right? And she gives him the 3D glasses, which we have today. She gives him the 3D headset and hooks up that way. And he's like, what is this?
The hell are you doing?
She's out here feeling it, and he's like, "Nah, I'm not down for this. I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get wet. And she's like, "But after STDs, there was this and this and this and this and this." and I'm like, that was their version of what they thought a future was going to be like, and certain things are happening.
How hard is it? Yo, like you said earlier, this shit isn't all just fiction, man. I mean, the
No,
story itself might be fiction, but yeah, it is definitely some work done for them to figure out how they can put some kind of, real relevance in it. And yeah,
yeah,
they do a lot of research for these movies, man. They don't just make
mhm.
these motherfuckers. You would think that they just some goofy guy just with his imagination running wild. Now they
Yeah,
try to
there's a
depict
lot
how
of
they
that,
can
but
do it.
also they
Yeah.
consult people, you know.
They definitely talk. Yeah, they definitely talk, and they definitely do some research in a lot of these movies, man.
Yeah.
But all right, Demolition Man. Damn, listen, bro. Number two, too. I definitely wouldn't have. That's a movie that I would have to go back and rewatch because I watched it a lot when I was younger. I watched
Yeah.
Demolition Man a couple times when I was younger.
Yeah,
but I don't remember.
watch it today. See how you feel about it. See
Yeah.
how you feel about it today.
Yeah, Demolition Man and Judgment Day. Not Judgment Day. Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd. Now,
were
see,
two
I
that
haven't
was kind of
seen.
similar.
I haven't seen either version of Judge Dredd. I didn't even know that was based on a comic
Dredd is
until
good,
the
man.
reboot came out. But yeah, at some
The
point, I gotta
newer
watch
one
it.
is even better in my the newer Dredd. That
Yeah.
shit. I don't know why. Well, it was. I think it was just kind of. It was very kind of. It was very kind of dark. It was like. It makes sense if it was like one of those weird anti-hero comics. Like it was really dark. A lot of drugs and just weird kind of shit. But it was good. It was actually a really good movie.
Mhm.
But let me see. My number two. All right, what I got for number two? I got to remember. Oh, listen, we were talking about it earlier, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But Terminator 2 is one of my favorite. And if I have to just literally just put, a perfectly put together horror movie. I keep saying horror. Action movie. If I perfectly put together action movie from start to finish, great story coming off of a already told story in Terminator 1, and then just kind of revisiting it and adding on to the story, but making it better. An amazing villain for the superhero to go after who was the villain in the previous movie, bro. Like it's writing, it's filming, like it's so damn good. The guy getting the coffee, he's the floor is linoleum, so he's able to copy the floor and make himself him and stick him in the eye. Bro,
that does take a lot of imagination.
The Terminator 2 Judgment Day is one of the greatest effing action movies of all time. There's hands down such a unbelievably good movie, bro. But yeah, definitely. And then remember at the end, like, listen, halfway through this shit, John Connor was like, listen, I order you. You can't kill anymore. He didn't even kill people. Like, he was literally blowing shit up and leaving people alive. He was literally not even an anti-hero anymore. Like, it was, bro, such a good ass movie. But all right, we down to number one spots, man. Then we gonna wrap up. I gotta head upstairs for baby go to sleep.
Yep. So this one was a hard one for me.
Okay.
So I was like, I gotta have more martial arts in this. You know what I'm saying? I gotta have more martial arts in this. What's one of my favorite martial arts movies? It was either gonna be Rumble in the Bronx with Jackie Chan.
Phenomenal work.
But it came down to that and Crouching Tiger, Hidden Freaking Dragon.
Oh, okay. Another good one. Good one.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is number one.
That's number one.
If you ask me tomorrow, it might change. Okay.
Listen, Rumble in the Bronx is my shit, bro.
Rumble in the Bronx
is my shit.
Like Rumble in the Bronx was another thing that I just watched on a whim. Like it was on. I just was flipping through the channels and I saw, hey, Jackie Chan, and then I was like, oh, this is dubbed. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When he's on the damn what's it called, board or whatever, and he's fighting the thing. And you see how good Jackie Chan. People don't know how good Jackie Chan is, bro. Like that guy is a martial arts fucking expert, man. He is, phenomenal. We were so used to talking about Bruce Lee back in the day, and then you got, Jackie, you got Jet. We grew up.
Jet Li's another one, like
an incredible martial artist, man. Yeah. I can't argue with you there, man. Both of those, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it's really good. It was never a favorite of mine, but it is really good. Chow Yun Fat. The one thing that I did I think after Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon came out, it was like a staple. Like it definitely was. It was a presence like in the martial arts community because it had a lot of the extra like the wires and stuff
The
like you said.
wires and the choreography and the
Yeah, a lot of choreography, which made it stand out to like I think even outside of a martial arts audience, and that's why I think it was so well represented. But one of my favorite, just this isn't my number one, but similar to that in that realm, kind of was the Forbidden Kingdom with Jackie and Jet Li, bro.
Yeah.
That's another one that's
I had
so
that in my
damn good.
collection. I had, you know, like I had that in my collection. I watched it with, like, I watched it on screen with some friends. My only gripe that, like, I kind of agree with my friends. They wanted more Jackie Chan and Jet Li. Like the way that they hyped up that fight between the two of them. That fight didn't even last that long.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
drunk Jackie Chan doing the drunken master shit too.
You know, but ultimately it was about the kid and his, you know, and his journey of like self-discovery, and it, you know, and that was great. That was great. But ultimately I feel like I'm sorry to say this, but even if you took the kid out, right, would it really change the movie all that much?
Well, I mean, a big part of it was kind of like, it was similar to like a never-ending story kind of deal. Like the kid kind of got sucked into the story and shit, and
they put him in a, like, they pretty much gave him like a whole, like a time thing. He ends up being, popular word today is isekai, which is Japanese for another world, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So now he's in a whole other world, but he's realizing that life is not like a movie. Because remember that scene where he's like, "Hey, when are you gonna teach me this move? Or when are you gonna teach me this move?" And he's like, "Oh, you know everything." And you know nothing. Like he had to be humbled, right?
Yeah.
And he was he was a cool kid. He was a nice kid. He was a nerdy kid. He just loved martial arts films. But it's like, we watch this stuff, and this is why my mom wanted to ban me from watching Power Rangers when I was a kid. She didn't want me to imitate what I saw, right?
Gotcha.
To her, she saw like kids in suits being violent. To me, I saw superheroes that were close to that, like, you know, they weren't my age because I was much younger, but at the time I saw kids saving the planet. It was black and white. It was good versus evil. It wasn't until I got older where I realized, wait a minute, no, hold on, there's deeper meaning to this. Yes, you know, it does have that black and white, you know, good versus evil thing, but also you learn in a lot of cases why they are the way they are.
Yeah,
and
teenagers with attitude and
sometimes.
It's definitely a lot of hidden stuff, you know, and that's just how we. That's why it's like, it's weird, man, because even with my kids, I'm not super like I don't shadow my kids like that. Like there's some stuff that I don't let them do, like Roblox. They don't fuck with Roblox no more because of all the weird stuff that's on there. You can't really catch it. You know what I'm saying? If they're watching a show, you can see a show. You can always go back and watch it yourself. But you playing Roblox, you talking to some fucking weirdo, we can't go back and see that. I have no idea what you're interacting with. That's why I don't even like them. Like my daughter, she doesn't even go on YouTube. She goes on YouTube Kids. It's way more monetized and shit like that or whatever. So you can definitely, you know, pay attention to what she's able to access a lot more. But YouTube, she was getting into these Disney, you know, things and just regular shit. She was just clicking on, then she click on the next video, and it'd be some weird shit, man. Like, you know, Spider-Man and Cinderella dressed up and going taking shit in the bathrooms. Weird, stupid shit. Like,
but that's part of the reason why Netflix. That's part of the reason why YouTube had to change its guidelines, because certain things were seeping through. And not to mention they were on the verge of getting sued for taking children's data. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of the reason. You know, so that's part of the reason why certain things in YouTube is different than when they started out, because of stuff like that. Now it's more along the lines of like, that stuff with the Spider-Man and Elsa and everybody doing that crazy stuff, that may be gone, but now that's been replaced with AI cat videos. I'll sing
time for it no more. The AI shit, man. Listen, I don't know what the fuck they hope to accomplish. Maybe it will be just so good. It's getting better. You can see it's gradually getting better every year.
Yeah.
But it's just like at the end of the day, I mean, I don't know if y'all think I'm gonna be sitting here watching a fucking AI video my whole life. I'm not. I'm so not interested. I turn that shit off immediately. It's not even entertaining. It's just dumb because it's like it's like literally just sitting here watching a computer make up something, and there's no characters, no context, there's nothing. And even if you get amazing graphics and it looks like real people, like how interested are you going? You know what's really getting annoying when you're watching TikTok is now you're starting to see a lot more of these videos where it looks like a real person, but then you can see it's not a real mouth, and the mouth is like moving weird and shit. It's really getting it's very hard to kind of decipher sometimes unless you're like kind of knowing what to look for. But if you're not looking fast enough, like, or you just catch like a part of it, you hear somebody say something, or the videos where they show Joe Rogan talking at first, but then it's not following his mouth, it just shows pictures and it's not really him talking. It's trying to warp your reality, man. I don't know how witted I'm.
Like some people can't tell the difference. Like one time, a good friend of mine told me, "Hey, did you know they're doing a Family Guy live action?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Oh," because I had seen that trailer, and I'm like, "Bro, this is fake." And he couldn't tell the. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dude, it's fake. I mean, it's an AI thing, but." And they did okay, you know, and they did okay with it, but at the same time, you could tell it's fake. And then another person, another one of my friends was like, "Hey, did you see the new trailer for Avengers Doomsday?" I'm like, "Doomsday? That wasn't out yet. Like what? Like what's going on?" And I saw the trailer, and I was like, "Oh, sorry, sis, this is the AI.
Yeah,
it's like
running rampant
AI." But
or even the guys who make the fake trailers, like, you know, some of these guys make fake trailers, and I mean, I remember back in the day, they used to look like you could tell they were pieced together with pieces of movies and shows. But now, I mean, they have legit trailers, man. I mean, they're still pieced together, but they go through so much more like creatively to find it how to bind them together, and the editing work is phenomenal. I'm pretty sure if I sat down and just really had the time and just really wanted to do it, I could probably make a phenomenal Jurassic Park fucking trailer or something like that.
Oh, you definitely
no
could.
problem.
It would take some time, especially with especially with all the pieces you would have to get to make it look convincing. But at the same time,
screenshots and
you can do it if you had the time.
All right, we're at the final spot. I'm at the number 1 spot, and I gotta end it off. If you guys know me, you know this was coming. My favorite of all time, and I can't even say just the one. It's all 4 of them motherfuckers, and that's Bad Boys. Bad Boys. What you gonna do? I love the favorite movie, man, of all time. Just another classic. You know, 2 of my favorite actors, Martin Lawrence and Will Smith. The first Bad Boys movie, so much action, so much character, funny as hell. Black comedy. It's just so much, man. Like, you know, this is at a period where I was fucking young, watching Def Comedy Jam. I was watching Martin. I was watching Fresh Prince. And then I saw these 2 guys play 2 kick-ass cops in the damn movie. I'm like, come on, bro. Like, what else can you ask for? It was like the perfect storm. And then not only that, but it was so damn good, bro. Funny as hell. Martin and Will both with they were partners, like they fought. They were like brothers. Then you go to 2. 2 came out what? Fucking 10 years after the first one. 2 was almost better than 1. It was like more focused. People knew Bad Boys more. You know, the fighting the Haitians and bro, come on, like
and fighting the KKK and
so damn good. Then the 3rd one came out. The 3rd one was a little bit less, not much, but a little bit less Martin. You know, you saw Martin he was more chill, trying to retire, a lot more Will with his son and everything, but it was still action. And then the 4th one, let me just tell you right now, the 4th one just came in and brought Martin back and just took off into out, because the 4th movie is fucking phenomenal, man. It's so good, the latest one. And they got another one coming. So, yeah, Bad Boys is number 1 in my book all day. Just pure love. I love every single one. That's one of the another genre, just like John Wick. That every single one I fucking enjoyed, and not just because I'm a fan either. I mean, they're really good, just really good movies. So phenomenal, Kyle. Man, hey, listen, guys. B-Line, man, I love you guys so much. Like I said, I'm really glad you guys are enjoying these episodes. I hope that they're, you know, a nostalgia kick for you. I hope that you get to go back home and make some lists, you know, even if you got a show, like, you know, take the ideas and you're like, man, I want to talk about action movies. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we do it for. We do have some guests that we actually are going to be reaching out to and getting some people back on the show to talk with us as well. I'm also interested in trying to see, Kyle, man, we talk a lot about, like, you know, some nostalgic, you know, shows and stuff we used to like back in the day. I would love to see if we can find a couple of people from some of these shows, man. See if we can get them on with us and interview them and stuff.
Man, that'd be that honestly be a dream come true to me for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna start reaching out because I know people like this and the ENT show, man. People are really into this show. They love this show every week. So but Kyle, man, once again, you know, thank you so much for coming on, bro. We're gonna get ready to wrap up here. A for Able. I found your site. I didn't put the piece together, but guys, I'm gonna have Kyle's link. It's gonna be mixed in, so you guys go subscribe to his channel. Make sure you check out his latest
podcast. A for Able podcast on YouTube. A for Able on all other podcast platforms. New episode comes out Tuesday featuring our boy Troy.
Let's go. Yeah. And, speaking of Troy, man, look at Troy right here. Troy, this is Troy's book right here. I got Troy to Ryan, Cicada Diaries, man. Yeah,
you got the Cicada Diaries.
Yeah. I've had it for. I haven't read it yet, but that's what I don't read. But I just want to support. But yeah, phenomenal, man.
Yeah,
phenomenal. But Kyle, yeah, appreciate you, brother. I mean, can't wait for next week. We're gonna have we're gonna do some more conversations. I don't know what next week's show is gonna be about. I am gonna check out Daredevil and you know, see what else. I haven't been watching a lot of stuff lately, guys. I ain't gonna lie. I've been watching a lot of past stuff and things that I just, you know, what show I started today that I'm actually interested in, Blacklist with David Spader. Yeah, it's actually pretty interesting. I'm only on the first episode so far, but it starts off really strong, so I'm gonna check it out. It's not really my cup of tea usually, but it's 10 seasons and I need something to kind of get into while I'm working and shit.
I was watching a documentary the other day and I haven't finished it yet because it got a little too like it's about this, and this is really not for this show, but it's about what's going on with Christian nationalism and all the political crap.
Oh yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I know there's a lot of documentaries out there that are really. I still got to watch. They got a Jerry Springer one on.
They got a Jerry Springer one. I still got to watch that one.
I gotta check that shit out.
And Saturday Night Live, and
yes. Saturday, yes. Shout out to Saturday Night Live, man. I've been a fan of Saturday Night Live for pretty much my whole life. Like I've been watching it since I was younger. I started off where it was Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan, and you know that was around the time that I really started getting into it. But you know, of course, I'm definitely well known with Adam Sandler and Chris Rock and Eddie Murphy, even all those guys. Like that's what a lot of them got their start, man.
Yep.
But big shout out to them for the 50th anniversary. I saw some of it. I didn't watch a lot of it. I stay away from these fucking award shows and stuff like that because it's too political for me at this point, man. I'm just tired of the woke shit. And I'm just over it. But shout out to them for the 50 years, man, because definitely a great show. Definitely a great show. A lot of laughs. But B-Line, listen, I love you guys, man. We wrapping up the week here. We'll be back next Tuesday with a brand new episode of the B-Line Web Show. We didn't do an episode this week because just got busy. Just got kind of busy, honestly. That's the only reason. But we'll be back next week with the web show, as well as the Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk, as well as the B-Line ENT from me and Kyle E. We gonna see you guys next week, man. Stay true, stay positive, pay attention, and we'll be back. Peace out, Kyle.